So I've just arrived at the boat. We're getting ready for a boat lift tomorrow to do a few little jobs on the boat, and we've not been down for a little bit. So I'm just checking that everything's all right, and like I say, my lift's quite early, it's 8 AM, so really needed to be here tonight rather than tomorrow. So one of the things I wanted to try and sort out, I mean, as you can see, it's really quite nice inside Allegra, especially at night. It lights up really quite nice, but the light is quite bright, particularly if you're watching a film. So if you sat watching a film at night, it's a little bit bright. So I've got myself a little bit of LED strip light here, this is the cob type light, so you can't really see the bulbs, the individual LEDs, which is something that I wanted to try and find. And I've wanted to try and find a really small one for quite some time. I mean, there's loads of this, you know, this is not new, people have done the uplighting sort of under here, you know, all the time. But if you look, we've got a really small lip, and I wanted to try and hide the lighting behind that. And I also didn't want a light that's very bright. So I've looked at a lot of this stuff in the past, and it's actually really quite bright, but this one you can dim, and if you noticed, it was USB powered. So I'm going to have to obviously power it from USB, or 5 volts I should say, because I'll end up cutting that off. But I'm going to just try it out to see actually how bright it is. So yeah, so as I say, it's a very, very small, thin light. It's, I think it's 3mm, so it's tiny in height. It's really, really small, and it's not very wide either, but it's USB powered. So as I say, I'll probably end up having to cut that off, because I want to power it from a 5 volt supply, and I don't want to drill a hole that's that big to get that through. But I just thought I'm going to unroll it out, and we'll try it. But I wanted to hide it completely behind there, and as you can see, it's completely gone. So let's just see what happens with it. It's so small it's actually falling over, but that's basically what it's going to look like. Just look from over here. It looks quite nice, and it's not very bright, which is what I really, really wanted. Nice thing as well is you can dim it right down, and with it being 5 volts USB powered, it doesn't actually draw a lot of power, because that's the other thing. There's some of these light tapes, they actually do draw quite a lot of power because they're quite long. I mean, this is 5 meters, and you can obviously cut it down into chunks. But what's that? I mean, that's two and a bit. So I end up cutting quite a bit off it, but with 2 of them on each side, that'll look really quite nice. So I've had a little bit of a play with the lighting, and I'm not sure which I prefer. So this one, under level lighting, under the cabinets, or this one, which is over the cabinets. And so I'm just cutting some new carpet. So we had obviously these carpets down for a little while now, and they're not rubber backed, but they came with these little sticky pads. So they actually have worked pretty well. We put them down because it's quite nice to have something under your feet, and particularly when the floorboards get a little bit cold. So yeah, so it's doing really well. I've cut these 2. I've made this one a little bit bigger, so that now goes under Nell's bed. Because what we've noticed is with the bottom of Nell's bed, it gets a little bit of condensation. So that'll cut the condensation right down there when she's sleeping. We've been actually using a couple of mats under there, but I have had a slight accident. So I've done a new one here, and I've just cut Catherine's. But as you can see, I've cut Catherine's the wrong way round. So I've made Catherine's a little bit bigger. We're going to put a bit of edging on them just to finish them off, but I've cut that the wrong way round. I should have turned the carpet the other way and not cut it on the back. So I'm going to have to recut that one the other way round. And Catherine's is now the right way round. Just put the corners in. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. I'm quite pleased. There's the odd one, but we won't talk about that. And then we've got to just do the front.